You're tuned in to the ADHD to Life podcast, hosted by Malachi. Tune in every week for a new episode. So this is take two because I just lost like 15 minutes worth of material, and I'm feeling real stupid right now because I didn't use Edison, and I had to stop the recording because I could hear my girlfriend's conversation. I'm sure you guys wouldn't want to hear her conversation with her sister. And yeah, so I do apologize. I'm gonna have to start over from the beginning with the smashing my hoo-ha in the drawer. I was making a sandwich, right? I was making this sandwich. It was a peanut butter and jelly. I was doing it for my lunch for work because I didn't feel like cooking. I was being lazy that time. Anyway, I go to grab the knife and I'm smearing the jelly on the thing. And I go to close the drawer because I didn't close the drawer. So I had to close the drawer just to get around because the kitchen's like super small because of this little layout, and that's not my fault. But anyway, I was positioned in such a way where I go to close the drawer and I end up smashing my hoo-ha. Oh, I wanted to cry. You know that Thanos meme where it's like, I'm sorry, little one? Well, I had one of those moments where, if those who don't know Thanos is the bad guy in Infinity War Endgame where he wants to collect all the Infinity Stones and make everybody disappear, bring so that evolution can begin again or whatever his plan was. Anyway, he has a daughter named Gamora. He takes her to get the Soul Stone and he, throws her off the cliff and then he wakes up in the place where you get the Soul Stone, and then I guess he sees his daughter or something. This might have been like an extra scene in the movie. Alright, no, not in the movie. That I've seen on YouTube where he's like, I'm sorry, little one. And then for some reason, they took that meme and then like blew it up and sent it everywhere, like everywhere. Anyway, so that's the reference I was making to the I'm sorry, little one. Here lately, I've been having these feelings. I'm going to talk about my mental health with you guys because I think mental health sharing is important. It's good for the heart and soul, you know what I'm saying? It's good for your mind, your body, and I think it gets overlooked all the time. I think we should start talking about mental health more often. But I've been feeling insecurities I haven't felt in like years, and it's weird how they're just coming up all of a sudden now. And I've been feeling like isolated and angry, having anxiety, but I'll touch on that stuff later. I know I said I would just address it, but I'll touch on that later. I've got a whole little bit on that. My girlfriend got a new job. She'll start that. Actually, she just started, but yeah, she just started. I think she likes it. Hopefully, we'll see where it goes. If not, there's like 20,000, 40,000, a million other jobs hiring, so I'm not really worried, but it's okay. I'll do whatever I can to do support my baby. I'm dropping new music soon. If you haven't heard the Epitome song that I just put out a couple days ago, it was kind of like weird timing because it didn't get as much of a push that I think it should have deserved, because I put out one song and then I put out a podcast and then I put out another podcast and then I put out that song, and it was just like boom boom boom. It was like, all right, maybe that's too much, but I don't care. I told you guys I was going to start dropping content left and right, and if you catch it, you catch it. If you don't, you don't, and that's on you. One day it's going to pop, and that's all right with me. That's all right with me. Okay, no, this is not the time to be making songs. All right. I've been listening to some of the like older styles of hip hop, and I've been trying to keep that style alive because that's the style that I grew up on, Like I'm not gonna say I hate some of the newer rap that goes on, because I will say I'm a fan of some of it, but not all of it. I'm a fan of some of it, like what's that song dude did? Mario Judah, I Missed the Rage. Like that's, even though he's repeating the same thing over and over again, it's I can't deny the catchiness of it. It's just very, very catchy. Let me put that on vibrate. I do apologize. And to be more can't even speak. To be more specific on which artist I've been talking about, that I've been studying. I'd say Fat Joe. What's the other one? Big Pun, Eminem. What's Jadakiss, Notorious B.I.G., but more Tyler the Creator, Mac Miller. Just studying the roots. You know what I'm saying? I know there's other artists before that that came up and inspired them, but I want to go back to like the '90s and just drown myself out with '90s hip hop because that was such a beautiful era. And I feel like we need to recreate our own era because right now the world needs music. It needs lots of music. And either you're gonna make music or you're just gonna not make music. I mean, it's that simple. Why not? Why can't we why can't we make this next 10 year? Why can't we make the next 10 years like beautiful, full of music, full of creativity and positivity? I mean, despite everything that's going on, why can't we do that? That's a side note. Didn't mean to do that, but yeah, Eminem. I know he was talking about some deep, heavy shit in the like towards the middle of his career, but in the beginning, he was just talking mad shit about everybody and everything, including his moms, and and the drugs he was taking. And either way, I am a diehard fan of Eminem, and it's hard to go back and talk about the same things that I've already talked about because I've already recorded this and it disappeared on me and I can't find it. So bear with me, people. Please bear with me. I'm not doing this on purpose. I promise. It was going so good until, damn it. Well, we're human. We all make mistakes. But yeah, diehard Eminem fan. I hope to work with him someday. Honestly, I really do. He's, you're not supposed to have idols, but he was definitely an idol. Like I would try to like pretend to be him. You know how you're a kid and you wanted to pretend to be somebody, and I wanted to be Eminem. I thought I was Eminem. Like I lived and breathed his music, and it got me through middle or early middle, yeah, beginning of middle school all the way up to throughout high school. Then I fell off the Eminem wagon for a while, only because I found like other artists that I wanted to like dissect. Like when I find an artist that I like, I dissect their music and listen to everything they have to say. I study their forms. I study their ad libs. I do the research. I do the homework because you got to do the homework. You can't just be a bandwagoner. I mean, you can if you want. That's none of my business. But I don't like bandwagoning. For me, it's just not for me. I'll touch on that stuff later. But met some new friends at work making music. We'll be making some music together pretty soon. I'm not sure how to go about doing it though. Do I just invite them over to the house? Do we go out to eat first? Everybody get to know each other and shit, or do we just hop in the studio and do it? I don't know. I've never been in this position before because I've got my own studio. If I'm sure if you've talked to me before, I talk about it from time to time. Because I just don't believe in paying for studio time. Like, all that time you're going to pay in the studio, you might as well build your own studio. Take the time to learn how to do everything from the ground up. And that's just who I am. Like, I want to know everything that's going on. I don't want to know just what I'm doing because that makes me a one-trick pony. I want to be an omni pony. I want to know everything, how everything works, how everything syncs, how everything works together like gears and meshes and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting really thirsty, and damn it, I'm definitely going over the mark, but it'll be okay. It's gonna be okay today because I know it's only so far we've got like 9 minutes of recording, and like I said, the other one I think you guys would have enjoyed that a lot better, but I'm gonna have to let that one go, and I'm gonna have to pick up where I left off. You know what I'm saying? Be playing at the church this Sunday, and I haven't practiced my saxophone. I haven't practiced my saxophone since when was the last time I practiced? Since the last gig I did. It's been a while. but you guys don't know when that gig was. That was October something. Not 20th. Or is it September? Oh my gosh. Has it been that long? Because I know I got sick at one point, and then I was out for like 14 days, so I definitely didn't come in the studio or practice my horn at all whatsoever. I was like, nope, this is not going in there. Forget that. But anyways, I'm drawing a blank here, man. I lost my flow. It was like I just can't have things going on in the background when I'm trying to record, and especially when I can hear it and it's loud enough, and it's like, why? Why is that blaring for no reason? Like, why? Anyway, I lose focus real easily, and I have ADHD, and it doesn't really help. But we're gonna move on to the next topic. So, how do I feel now that I've seen all of the movies? What's a movie, dude? How do I feel now that I've seen all of the Marvel Studio movies that they put out, like with the Infinity Stones and in order, including the last little thing they did with the Winter Soldier and the Falcon. I'm a little upset because there's nothing left. Well, I mean, there is, but I keep reading comments online about how everything's gonna be crappy now. There's gonna be no more good movies. Robert Downey Jr. I read up about the Iron Man thing with Robert Downey Jr. You know how he had to retire it because he played that character for what, like 10 years or so. I think he played it really good for 10 years, and though he made a lot of money off of it, I mean, it's just how sometimes you just got to know when to walk away. And whoops, you have to know when. I think what the article said is you had to know when to walk away because you don't want to continue to beat a dead horse. What more is there for that character? Let somebody else step in and take over. Just like with Wolverine, I'm sure he felt the same. Hugh Jackman and Wolverine, I'm sure he felt the same way. Just let it go. Just gotta let it go. But then I also read with him that it was taking too much. It was too much of a strain on his body. And Robert Downey Jr. He's pretty old. I mean, he's not old. He's like middle aged. And he said he was ready to work on newer projects, things that he could be proud of. And I think trying to resurrect him or Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson, because she dies in Endgame, or is it Infinity War? Yeah, no, she dies in Endgame, right? And then they show a cut scene at, what movie was it? In her movie, the Black Widow movie, right? They show a cut scene of her sister, right? They show a cut scene of her sister and this woman that's trying to get her to go after Hawkeye for killing Black Widow, and it wasn't her fault. It wasn't his fault because she chose for him to let go, and that's how he had to get the Infinity Stone so they can stop Thanos the second time. And you gotta watch it. You just gotta watch it in order. Just look up MCU movies, MCU Avengers in order. Watch all of the movies in order, chronologically. And it'll make so much more sense versus the way that they came out, because they came out all over the place. Obviously, as time progressed, the CGI and everything got better, but you'll see that for yourself when you watch them. And I know you don't want to watch every movie over again. I didn't rewatch the Black Widow movie because I just watched that I think I watched it not as soon as it came out, but I watched that while I was sick. And I was like, no, I'm not watching this again. I just watched it. I said the same thing about Civil War and Captain America, but I needed to get all the minute details so I could figure out what was going on. But the Black Widow movie, I don't think it really had anything to do with what was going on with the events that led up to the end game. It was just more so like a side story sort of deal. It might have. I'm trying to figure out how that one even fits into the timeline because I just don't understand. Why would they even put that movie in there? And then Then they screwed her out of some money because they put it on Disney Plus, and she also got all this money for the theater and tickets and all that good stuff. This is what I read. So I'm sorry, Scarlett Johansson, you didn't get what you deserved. But hey, call me. What? I am recording a podcast. I am not calling anybody right now. Hmm. How? Okay, that's not the topic. All right, next topic. I walk around with the attitude that I have shit to lose and it keeps me in check. If I act on half the thoughts I've had, I'd be burning in hell or rotting in a jail cell. I wonder what that thought was about. Probably really angry. Oh, I remember now. People were like giving me a hard time at work this past week, and I normally don't talk about work because work is work. Leave that shit there. You come home. Home is supposed to be like your peaceful place, but like sometimes work follows you home. You dream about it, and you don't even want to dream about it. You know what I'm saying? But like for some reason, I was on one this day, and I'm starting to think maybe this generation doesn't want to evolve. Yes, I'm moving past that thought because that was just I was on one that day. I'm starting to think maybe this generation doesn't want to evolve. Here I am trying to right my wrongs and be a better person to the people in my life. Actually be present and be self. Be selfless for once. And it's as if maybe the world has to burn and God has to start over because we don't know how to evolve. I feel like we've been given the right tools, provide the knowledge, but keep pushing the same mindset that nothing will ever change, so might as well live your best life. But do we stop and ask ourselves if this is the right thing to do? Is this what God wants me to do? When do we hold ourselves accountable for our actions? When do we accept that there's a force out there that acknowledges our wicked ways and our good faith, and that they are both our own demise? I acknowledge what Puff and Biggie said in the movie, we can't change the world unless we change ourselves. I used to stress less. I used to let stress less. I used to let stress, anger, worry, and doubt eat me alive until I realized what it was doing to my body and spirit. It turned me into this person no one wanted to be around. And what I did, you might ask. So what did I do, you might ask? Ugh. English is not my friend today. I stopped seeking validation from others because that just doesn't work in my favor. And it influenced a lot of my decision making. I started working on my mental health and physical health. I began the process of healing and forgiveness, not for others, but for me. Evolving is the best decision I've made in years. I've made tremendous amounts of progress in my life these past 2 years because of it. I started a business, a podcast. I let go of toxic people. I learned how to do my own taxes, build my own studio. I'm actually spending time in the studio. I'm doing things that I genuinely want to do. I'm making myself happy. So if I can't make myself happy, what makes me think I can make somebody else happy? And if that doesn't open your eyes to think, look at it this way. Let's say hypothetically you and I have a child in the midst of our toxic season, the I'm living my best life phase, but mostly spreading toxic energy season of our lives. That child will only know what we teach them, and that child will catch on to our toxic ways. As the child grows up, all the insecurities we felt but couldn't deal with get pushed into their life unintentionally. I say that because we didn't want to address it. We're too busy with our lives to address our own problems. Now, that child has to grow up in the same toxic environments and insecurities that the adult was raised in. We die, they have a kid, and they just do what they were taught, and the cycle repeats itself. What made me want to evolve is watching this happen in the lives of people around me. It happened to me, it happened to my friends. I keep asking myself, why am I stuck in my ways? Why can't I change this? Why can't I evolve? I miss my friends, I miss the good times, and now all I have is memories of what once was because of my decisions and my toxic behavior. In this season of solitude, God has been revealing so much to me, and yes, I say solitude. I felt emotionally isolated since I was a kid. I felt that way growing up, and I could have everything I wanted, have everyone around me, have my whole entire family, girlfriend, anybody in my life showing me love, but I'd still feel alone. And I think this is God's way of reaching me. Otherwise, I wouldn't seek Him. Literally, like, when I tell you I felt detached from the world since I was a kid, man, it's ridiculous. You know, you'd think I was a sociopath or whatever. And I just don't understand. I've been trying to understand so that I can evolve and do better for the people in my life. Let that marinate, you know, because, like, I'm maybe young, but I'm not dumb either. I made a lot of decisions the time I've spent on this earth, during the time I spent on this earth, and have come to the conclusion that I want to leave the world in a better place than the way I found it. We owe it to the future generations, bro. We owe it to the future generations. We owe it to ourselves. We really do. And with all that being said, I just hope that you take this message, you let it marinate, and I know I'm repeating myself, but some people need to be told twice, you know, just try to do your best to figure out what you got going on and help make the world a better place. Because if we can't, like the quote says, you can't change the world unless you change yourselves, meaning you. So if you want to party and bullshit all your life and then mess up, have a kid, and continue to party and bullshit, don't get mad when your kid wants to party and bullshit. No offense. I'm not telling you how to raise your kids. This isn't well, it is kind of life advice. I wouldn't say it's a how-to guide either, but I just like giving out advice because I see a lot of things, and I think a lot of things to be avoided if people just think about their actions before they do them, you know? Before you try to drown out your feelings with alcohol, booze, and weed like I did for years, instead of addressing your problems, because all you're doing is just putting it on the back burner. And me, having done it, I know I put it on the back burner. I put a lot of, like, those feelings I was talking about, the insecurities, the isolation, the anger, the anxiety. I put all that stuff on the back burner, right? All living on the back burner. And I was turning up, supposedly, living my best life, supposedly, and pushing everybody away because I thought they were toxic for me. And then I'm over here posting quotes about I'm doing what's best for me. I'm doing what's best for me. No toxicity for me. Um, all sorts of crazy stuff, man. All sorts of crazy stuff. I've said a lot of things. I've pushed a lot of people away. People I can't even make amends with because, like I said, I pushed them away a long time ago, right? And they won't even answer me to this day. I did a lot of that crazy stuff in high school. Since I burned a lot of bridges down. And I was thinking, you know, well, if I just smoke it away, you know, let time pass, you know, it'll be all right. Just go back to him, apologize, whatever. No, life's with them. Apparently, life's no Nintendo. You don't get a second chance. I've used up all my chances, and I don't want somebody younger than me, someone my age or older, to make the same mistakes that I did. So, I think that me sharing what's going on in my life, things that I did, reason why I have this podcast. And like I was telling somebody the other day, it's a therapy session for me, man. It's therapy for me. It's therapeutic, and I hope that other people can learn from my therapeutic sessions. You know what I'm saying? So like, just tune into the podcast. You ain't got to catch all of it, but you know, if you catch something that catches your ear, and you want to talk about it, you know, hit me up, hit me up, hit me up, hit me up. Oh yeah. You know, I think I leave my contact information in the description below, if I'm not mistaken. But if you're out there listening to this and I'm not even gonna go down that road. I'm gonna move on to the next topic because I don't even. My mind started to draw on a blank. But I do think we owe it to the future generations, and we owe it to ourselves. So I'm gonna tell you about this weird dream I had, and then I'm gonna get off of here. I had an intimate moment with an old friend. She came for me in a time of need, and my current my current girlfriend, I don't even think she existed in my life at that point, but people from different chapters in my life were in the dream as well. I saw my first love, and just seeing her sent me into this panic anxiety attack. I couldn't breathe, so I ran. My friend followed. She took care of me. At one point, I lost control of like all my limbs, and I dropped to my knees. She picked me up. She carried me somewhere and made sure I was okay. We were at like this huge festival. I had family there. There was a band. In one area, my saxophone was on another stage. Just a saxophone and a microphone, like bottle of water and a thing. And I know it was my saxophone because it was purple and gold. I'm like, it had the same markings on it and everything. Maybe it was a glimpse into the future. I don't know. Or where or why this dream occurred. I just know that when I saw my first love, I immediately died on the inside. It was like I was enjoying the festivities, and my friend points past me and asked, "Who is that?" And I turn around, and it's like, bam! I was like getting smacked by a semi truck. There she is walking her kid, you know, in a stroller. She had her hair done, makeup done. I could still tell it was her, but I panicked. I cried a little. I had an anxiety attack, and when I finally woke up and realized it was just a dream, I still had lingering effects of the anxiety attack. I don't know what that was about. It was just weird, man. I don't get it. I really don't. I do know that it was nice to have a friend comfort me in my time of need, and the fact that I pushed pushed said friend away with my toxic behavior, it kind of sucks that I can't be like, hey, what's going on? How's it going? Because of my past decisions. Thus, me talking about evolving and wanting to change and do better before it's too late. And if you're out there listening, I do apologize for the way I acted. I was just a kid. There's no excuses for what I did. There really isn't, but we're human. We're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to do dumb shit. Again, hit me up sometime if you're listening. Dang, I didn't mean for the end of the podcast to get all dark and heavy. Whoops, my bad. Anyways, my throat is starting to hurt from all this talking and yibber yabbering and chapping, but be sure to check me out on the SoundCloud. That's M-A-L-A-C-H-I P-O-O-L-E, Malachi Pool. Just look up my last song, Epitome, E-P-I-T-O-M-E. Actually, I'll just leave it in the description, so it's a lot easier. Just type it in or do whatever you do, copy, paste. I don't think the description lets me drop links, but I still post the link anyway. But yeah, if you like today's episode, be sure to leave a like, comment, download, subscribe, if you can. And that would be greatly appreciated, because I need water, like, ASAP. Like, really bad. Really, really bad. You know that pain you get in your throat, like, right before you get sick? That's exactly what I feel right now, but I know I'm not sick because I've been doing good, so no sickness for me. No more sicky. No more sickness for me, so senor. That's not right. That reminds me of that song that our teacher made us listen to. It was like a Spanish rock song. It was like, Estoy enfermo. And then Bicho, something. I don't remember the rest of the lyrics, but anyway, that's enough of this ADHD infused talk. You guys have a great, guys and gals, have a great week. Peace.